During the Great Depression, when jobs were scarce and honestly money was tighter than ever, families had to find ingenious ways to survive. Beyond just stretching pennies, they faced harsh winters in drafty homes, cooking challenges without modern appliances, and even the constant threat of fire from poorly maintained stoves and heating methods. In this environment, a simple, often overlooked tool became a real lifesaver: canned heat. Not the commercial version you might see in restaurants today, but a Depression-era trick that allowed families to provide warmth, cook safely, and even protect their homes from disaster. The story of this clever adaptation is not just history. It's a masterclass in resourcefulness, and its lessons still resonate for anyone interested in self-sufficiency and backyard preparedness. Why did families rely on canned heat during the Depression? Well, central heating was a luxury that very few could afford, and fuel for wood or coal stoves was expensive or quite often in short supply. So families had to improvise. Canned heat, a form of gelled alcohol or wax-based fuel stored in small portable tins, became an essential household tool. Its compact design meant it could be used indoors without a full stove, providing warmth in targeted areas and allowing for emergency cooking. But the most ingenious use wasn't just heating. It was a method to prevent fires, which were common when makeshift heaters were left unattended or stoves overheated. Families discovered that controlled, contained heat sources could reduce risks while still performing essential household tasks. The Depression-era canned heat trick wasn't found in manuals or advertisements. It was passed through word of mouth, quietly shared among neighbours and relatives. It became an example of everyday survival innovation, a tool that was affordable, easy to produce, and adaptable to many situations. So, how did the canned heat trick actually work? The method was surprisingly simple, but, effective. Families would place a small can of gelled fuel near a drafty area or under a cooking pot. The gel burned steadily, providing a slow, controlled flame that generated heat without the unpredictability of open fires or kerosene stoves. This allowed food to be simmered slowly, water to be heated safely, and rooms to be warmed without creating large flames or sparks. The trick came from understanding the balance between fuel, airflow, and placement. By keeping the flame contained in a shallow metal can and placing it on a non-flammable surface, families minimized the risk of tipping or accidental ignition. Some even made rudimentary reflectors from old tin sheets to direct heat toward a specific area, essentially creating a miniature stove or heater. The technique allowed for warmth and cooking efficiency while using minimal resources, a necessity when every drop of fuel counted. Why did this technique save homes and lives? Well, during the Depression, a single fire could just devastate a family's home. Wooden floors, thin walls, and poorly maintained chimneys made even small sparks, incredibly dangerous. By using canned heat in controlled, repeatable ways, families could maintain essential warmth without leaving a large, uncontrolled fire burning. In essence, the trick turned heat into a manageable tool rather than a hazard. This method also offered flexibility. If a storm knocked out fuel deliveries or coal became unavailable, canned heat could provide an emergency solution. Multiple cans could be lit safely in different rooms, offering localized warmth without overloading a single stove. For families with children or elderly members, it meant survival in harsh winter conditions while keeping the home intact. So, how can you apply the Depression-era canned heat trick today? While modern homes have central heating and portable heaters, the principles behind the Depression-era trick are still valuable for survivalists, campers, and anyone really seeking energy efficiency. Small gel-based fuels can be used for emergency cooking when electricity is out, or to provide targeted warmth in drafty areas. The key is control and placement. Use heat-resistant surfaces, maintain ventilation, and never leave a flame unattended. You can experiment with simple setups. Place a small tin of gel fuel under a Dutch oven for slow cooking, or use reflectors to channel heat toward a cold corner in a shed or greenhouse. The idea is to achieve maximum efficiency with minimal resources, a lesson directly inherited from Depression-era households. Understanding this approach encourages strategic thinking about energy use, fire safety, and improvisation in both historical and modern contexts. Why is this knowledge valuable for backyard and survival enthusiasts? Studying this trick teaches more than just a method for heating and cooking. It instills a mindset. Resourcefulness, observation, and careful management of materials were the hallmarks of Depression-era survival. Every family had to innovate within constraints, making do with what they had while protecting their homes and loved ones. For modern enthusiasts, it's a reminder that survival isn't always about high-tech gear. Sometimes the simplest solutions, when applied thoughtfully, are the most effective. The canned heat trick also encourages experimentation. By replicating these setups safely, you gain practical knowledge about controlled flames, heat distribution, and improvisational engineering. You learn to balance efficiency with safety, a principle that remains essential in both backyard and wilderness scenarios. Depression-era households turned canned heat into a multifunctional tool, creating warmth, enabling cooking, and preventing disaster. It's a testament to human ingenuity under extreme conditions, a lesson that continues to offer insight and inspiration today. If this dive into Depression-era survival techniques inspired you, make sure to subscribe and share this video with fellow history buffs and backyard preparedness enthusiasts. Preserving these lessons not only connects us with the past, but equips us with timeless strategies to navigate the challenges of today. Stay resourceful, stay curious, and keep uncovering the hidden wisdom that shaped generations.